Hey guys.
Oh, hi. So it's Qoheleth and
Shade. So
yeah, we're back. Part 2 and probably the last part of our Knights of the Frozen Throne card review thing.
don't sound so excited.
So let's just don't sound so. It's been a long.
We could learn the same, but words came out so different. Once upon a time, don't always have a happy end. But I never felt the way I did with you, and it's a shame that only silence is where it's heading for.
It's been a long day. But we got through Paladin, and we're gonna pick up through Priest and just marathon our way through all the other cards. So here we go. We should be on Shadow Ascendant.
Yep, I'll go ahead and take this one since, we have so much in common. It's a 2 for a 2/2 Shadow Ascendant. At the end of your turn, give another random friendly minion +2/+2. Or +1/+1, sorry. If it gave +2/+2, broken. So at the end of your turn, give another random minion +1/+1.
Yeah, friendly minion +1/+1. So, I mean, I don't think this goes into anything that Priest is trying to do right now. Like, Priest has got still a lot of late game stuff. There's like no tempo Priest that's out anywhere. But I mean, the card's fine. Like, you go turn 1, Northside Cleric, turn 2 this, you got yourself a 2.
Yep, I agree. I think it's a really solid card. I don't think it's going to be played, though, because, like, there's nowhere it goes. Arena, it's amazing, though. But, I mean, there's nowhere it goes, right? Because there's so many other 2-drops you could use.
Yeah, it doesn't fit in any current Priest archetype or anything like that. So I don't think it sees constructed play.
Yep.
So, next up, there is Spirit Lash. It's 2 mana. Lifesteal, 1 damage to all other minions. Or all minions in general. So you deal a bunch of damage, potentially you gain a bunch of life. It's cool. I mean, the card's fine. I still think that Wild Pyromancer does everything you want when it comes to dealing damage like that. Like, Priest still has a lot of healing in general, so.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's more of... AoE's hard to get other than, you got Wild Pyromancer, Holy Nova, Alkanai, Circle, and Dragonfire, right? So it has another one you can use. If it does see play, it's one of, So.
Yeah, I mean, like, it really does well with spell power, obviously, because, dealing 2 to everything and healing potentially, like, 10 for 2 mana is pretty good. But, I don't know. If anything, like you said, it sees it play at 1, if at all. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's an alright card. It's just, is there space? No.
Is there space? And I think there's already cards that does its job better. And if you need more of that effect, then you go ahead and run that up.
The heal is pretty nice, though, if a Rush deck got you pretty low, though. You get a little up and you might kill someone board. But yeah, other than that, it's not that great in my opinion.
So the next one.
3 for a 3/3 lifesteal, Acolyte of Agony. Well, I mean, it's alright. It's solid, I guess. I don't think it's amazing.
No, this one will see constructed play. It'll be okay in Arena. Honestly, though, this could have just been a 3-mana 3/4, no problem. Like, Talon Priest and Cultist were both 3-mana 3/4s that were nuts. And this is a 3-mana 3/3 with that is okay. So, I mean, it could have been a 3/4, no problem, but it won't see constructed play either way.
Yeah.
After that, we have Eternal Servitude, 4 mana. Discover a friendly minion that died this game and summon it. This is what everyone wanted Resurrect to be, but if it was, it'd be too good at 2 mana. So at 4 mana, it's still relatively okay. There's a lot of Priest decks that don't really run a lot. There's some Priest decks that choose not to run a lot of early game in order to make this good. I mean, 4 mana, res your Ysera, why not? But I mean, you gotta I think in the right build, you can get a lot of value out of this.
Yeah, I think this card's fucking amazing. I didn't see it until now, actually. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Because, like, the thing on Resurrect is it's random. This one, it's still kind of random, but a choice of 3, which is huge. You could... The most likely that what's going to happen is you're going to get 2 shitty ones and then something that's useful. For 4 mana, resummon, and then as long as you get anything 4 mana or above, you get value on it. Albeit if it doesn't have a battle card.
Yeah, I mean this'll see play in some sort of priest, because priest wants to go long anyway, so they're gonna have fat minions. So 4 mana Res your Lich King or Res your Ysera is definitely gonna happen, and be built around to make it work. So I think this card is fine, and it'll do.
It's definitely gonna shine with Shimmering Elemental though. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Alright. 5 mana, Devour Mind. Copy 3 cards in your opponent's deck and add them to your hand. I don't really like the card, because... I mean, it gives you card advantage, but you can Thought Steal for that, and Thought Steal is not getting played right now either way. It does help you see your opponent's hand, or their deck, in case... I mean, if you're high rank, you can have a pretty good idea of what they're playing, so it doesn't help you that much. But it gives you some hand advantage. But is 2 extra cards better than, or better for 2 extra mana, or 1 extra card better for 2 extra mana? Because I'm comparing it to Thought Steal.
Yeah, I mean, I think if it does see any play, it's in like a Reno Kazakas type thing. It just you really just jam anything in there to make the cards you're playing more consistent. This, since you get 3 cards out of your opponent's deck, there's a better chance you get synergies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can you're playing a Paladin, take their Tyrion and their Tarim and their Rat, because that's just going to happen to somebody. Probably going to happen to me all the time. But, I mean, yeah, I don't know how... If this sees play in Standard, it's probably going to be a 1-of, and... it's just going to be some standard control priest. But if there's room, they'll play it. If not, then I'm not surprised. Otherwise, I mean, the card's fine. It's not like it's bad. It's just, is there reason to play?
I agree. I think it's a good card. I just don't think it's amazing. I don't think it'll personally see play in Standard, but like you said, if it does, it's 1.
Yeah, I think it's where the good number is right there, just at 1. It's not like the 5 mana Druid spell, the draw 3 or ramp 2. Nourish. It's not like Nourish in the sense that you can ramp or draw cards depending on where you are. This one just draws cards, so it loses a little bit of flexibility. But anyway, moving on. 6 mana Shadow Essence. Summon a 5/5 copy of a random minion in your deck. So this card is build around, like it's a build around me. Like you want Barnes and Yasharaj or Malagos, something like that, Valen maybe. You just try to OTK or something like that. That's what I'm picturing when I see this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you jam it into any regular priest build. I think you want cards like Barnes and stuff like that that just make a big old Barnes copy and then ship it out. Get some value out of it. Hopefully win the game from there. But that's really all I can say about this card, is that it's a combo piece.
I mean, Barnes, like, his effect's a battle cry though, right?
But yeah, you don't get Barnes, but you essentially create a large Barnes token.
Oh, okay, right on. Yeah, I agree. It's a fun card. I don't think it's going to be any decks currently, but, who knows. It's really fun, though. You can build a lot of cool shit with this.
Yeah, you build around it. Like, anything that you'd want Yasharaj in and stuff like that. 6 mana get your Yasharaj, which gets your other Yasharaj, and you lull all over your opponent's face, stuff like that.
Yep. Six mana, Embrace Darkness. Pretty cool art, I think. Choose an enemy minion at the start of your turn, gain control of it. So, I mean, it's technically a removal, but it kind of reminds me of Corruption.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. It's a little bit better corruption, but it still has the same clause. What Raynad said about this was like anything that priest can't remove, you just take. Like anything that with a primordial drake. So it's really difficult for priest to kill primordial drake, and it's got a big butt, so they can't really trade into stuff. So you just go, all right, I'm gonna take it next, and it's dealt with.
Yep. Fine
so
card.
It's stuff like that. Again, if it'll probably see play, and it'll probably see play as a one-of. I mean, we lost Entomb, so this while this isn't Entomb, this is a pretty close replacement to it. So I'm happy to see it. I enjoy playing priest a lot, so I'll definitely play that card all day.
Yeah, Control Priest is really fun. I definitely I could even see 2 in this because they ran 2 Entombs in a lot of decks. So
yeah. So moving on, we have the card that does it all in my opinion. 9 mana, 4/8, taunt, lifesteal, death rattle, destroy a random enemy minion. If this cost 8 mana, I think it'd be too good. So they made it cost 9, which makes it pretty good. But it might not see play because of it, because 9 mana is a lot, especially in priest. But I mean, just it does it all. Like it saves you life by making their opponent attack into it. It gives you life back when they do, and then it takes something out after they traded everything in. Like, to me, on paper, this card is awesome.
yeah, I would have to agree. The mana cost is high, like you said. The stats are pretty solid though, especially since it's 4. It's going to be trouble for other priests, same way Primordial Drake is. So, and oh my gosh, like the normal situation is they'll trade 2 to 3 minions into it, right? That means you'll, assuming they don't use spells or anything, they'll trade 2 to 3 minions into it, so you'll gain 8 to 12 health, and then you'll kill something if they have anything left.
Right. I mean, what determines this or not this will see play is how good like mage is, and mage is really good, and it's only getting better, I think. So like, you know, they usually still play like 1 poly, or in other way they have spells to get rid of it. So in a mage heavy meta, I don't think this sees play, but in like a creature based, you know, pirate Murloc, this might see play if you can survive up to 9 mana.
Oh, this is like
Hopefully
an
it does,
auto
'cause I
pick
really
in
like
the
it.
arena though. This is so good.
Yeah, it's huge. Moving on.
Ugh.
The meme team.
Alright, 7 mana, 4/6. Shuffle a copy of your opponent's deck into your deck. Battlecry. Archbishop Benedictus. I mean, it's a fun card. I don't think it's good. I fucking hate this card. The stats are horrible, and I hate the effect. It's just way too much randomness. I mean, it's gonna make you win almost every fatigue game if you draw decent cards, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like, ideally you play this on turn 7, so you just shuffle like 15 to 20 cards, not 20, but like 15 to 18 cards into your. Now, unfortunately, it's your opponent's deck, so.
Yep. So it's like no synergy with hers.
So like you're sitting there, and if you do that, then you're just sitting there with all these dead draws, but you're prepared for late game. So this is strictly a fun card in my opinion. I don't think this has any standard implications to be competitive, but it's definitely cool. Like I think it's hilarious, the fact that it exists anyway.
Yeah. Most, I think the statistic was most games end before 13 cards were taken out of each player's deck, right? So, most games, or I think that's wrong statistic, but it's something like that. So, most games will not make it to fatigue, but, you know, we'll see. I hate the card.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's states to say that the meta is slowing down based on this expansion. We don't know what will actually happen, obviously, but all these cards promote a slowed meta. So hopefully, well, not hopefully, but hopefully there are some control versus control matchups that go to fatigue, because that's the way I like playing Hearthstone. That's my favorite way to play Hearthstone, is slow 10 mana, throwing spells at each other's face.
Yep, that's my favorite way.
Haymakers.
My favorite deck actually was the an infinite deck dog made. I don't know what it was called, but it had like duplicates and the beetles and shit. So you just like get more duplicates, and then just keep discovering crap. You basically never run out of cards. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really fun. So we have Shadow Reaper Anduin, 8 mana. Battlecry, destroy all minions with 5 or more attack, gain 5 armor. And then his hero power is 2 mana, deal 2 damage. After you play a card, refresh this. So this card's pretty sweet. People are worried about Jade Druid. There's a couple. This really clears out a lot of the Jade statues with his ability. Obviously, you know, death to everything is good. So I think this card is really sweet. Plus, you know, you have like, if you can run like Lyra and stuff like that, you can chain your hero power together with like Shadow Visions and stuff like that. Power Word, all that. You don't need to run Beardo anymore. Beardo Shadow Form is a thing of the past. They just put it all into one card for you.
Yeah, Priest is one of my more fun favorite classes to play. Not my favorite, because my favorite's Mage. But I do really like this card. So I wish there was a potion that gave plus the minions, so that effect would be better. But, I mean, the effect stops what Priest has trouble with, so that's good. But, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, and obviously Priest still has Raza in Standard, so if you build some sort of Reno deck in Standard with Raza, you can just refresh and ruin your opponent's day all day. So get some like Burglary Bullies or something like that. You know, coins, refresh your hero power. There's a lot of speculation on how to combo with this. I think outside of a combo, this card's still pretty solid.
Yep, I would agree. A lot of the stuff in Priest, like as we saw, benefits from slow games, and this one definitely does too, because the next turn you're doing huge stuff with this card.
And it costs 8, so you can either heal then play it, or play it then deal 2 damage to something that survives.
Yep.
A lot of flexibility. Move on to Rogue.
Rogue, the class that in theory I liked, but it's okay. Especially, I really liked it when Conceal was a thing. Now I don't like it. Basically, I liked it when
I like playing it. I like playing it, but I can't. If I have a difficult time evaluating its cards, that's for sure. Especially in this expansion.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect example. 2 mana Leeching Poison. Give your weapon lifesteal. I don't think this card's that great, but I don't know, because a lot of the times the rogues don't even use great weapons anymore. Like, you generally have just your hero power.
Yeah, that's true. Although, I was playing a tempo rogue list that had some of the burgle effects, and Obsidian Shard was really good, just as like a 2 to 3 mana 3/3 weapon. And if you put this on the 3/3 weapon, that's 9 healing, and rogue that doesn't have a lot of healing anyway. So, I mean, that's something I think the best target for this is Obsidian Shard. But if you're not running that, I don't think you run it. Like, I don't. Other than that, yeah.
I don't think you run 2 of this either way.
Oh yeah, I don't think you run 2 of this. I think maybe it's a 1-of if you jam it at all. But I think they're afraid to give rogue healing, and that's why they gave him this, which it's 2 mana and it seems like it's mediocre, but they're just kind of testing the water.
I mean, it makes sense that they don't give rogues healing, because like they are supposed to burst people down, right?
Yeah, but all rogues had first aid, so.
Yeah, that's true. Alright.
Alright, so next we have Plague Scientist. 3 mana 2/3. Give a friendly minion poisonous when you combo. This is kind of cool. If you play Stone Tusk Boar, you go Stone Tusk Boar, do a poisonous, murder something. That's cool. Obviously, this card is only good if you have something else on the board already. So, I mean, maybe like maybe a tempo-oriented rogue that runs the pirate package and all that jazz. But I don't think this played in Miracle, because Vile Spine Slasher is played in Miracle, and that's already really good removal.
Well, I think this card costs way too much, and you could say that the poisonous effect is really good, but there's way better 2-drops in other classes that don't require you to play something. Because you cannot play this on turn 3 unless you like coined it out or backstabbed or something. So it's like it costs way too much for what it does.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, I'm not a... It might... Like, it almost guarantees to kill something over SI, but SI is more flexible.
Yep.
So I still think you run SI over this card if you want to effect like that.
Yep, and SI can finish someone off. This can't.
Right. Poisonous doesn't work on heroes, unfortunately.
Yeah. I wish
So
they would
I
add
don't think
something
it's
like
played,
that. Like, Magic has.
Yeah.
Well, if you stack like 10, not just one.
Right. No, I get it. That'd be kind of cool, I guess.
Next card is a 5 for a 5/5 Bone Baron. Death Rattle, add 2 1/1 skeletons to your hand. I think it's really good in Arena. It has solid stats. Don't see it being played in Constructed because Rogue just doesn't do that shit, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's kind of cool, I guess, that those skeletons go to your hand as opposed to summoning them, so you can use them to combo. But I don't think it replaces, like, that one guy, that 5/4, that Death Rattle give you a coin. Because the 1/1s, I'm sure, cost 1, so they don't gain you mana or are mana neutral. So
The Pillager?
this doesn't replace. Tomb Villager, that's it, yeah.
He rotated out though, right?
Which also, yeah, he's gone, and he also costs 4. So this doesn't fill that void, and therefore I don't think it sees play in Constructed, but
Yep.
it would be fine in Arena. Yeah, the skeletons are down here. They are 1/1s, 1/1s for 1.
Ugh, what losers. No wonder they died.
So next up we have 2 mana Roll the Bones, Bone Storm. Draw a card. If it has Death Rattle, cast it again. So you can like just mill yourself out, you know. I don't know. This card, if it draws you 2 cards, it's technically worth it. However, since you're playing a Death Rattle deck, you want minions on the board to get your advantage out of your Death Rattles, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, like, it's kind of cool. I just know that if you run 2 of this, you cast it, instantly draw your Roll the Bones, and be sad.
Well, my thing is, like, this card would be really good if Hearthstone had, like, a scry ability like Magic does, or at least view the top card of your deck, but it doesn't, so you're stuck with this. Basing it all on a maybe that this card might just be a draw a card, which sucks.
Right, and it sucks that in like Wild you'd probably want Raptor in the deck that this goes into, but Raptor doesn't have Death Rattle itself, so.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I
like,
don't think it's good.
I don't know. I don't think it does much. It would need a very dedicated build, obviously, if it did, but probably not.
Yep, it's trash. Oh my goodness. A weapon. 3 mana for a 3/2 battle cry. Your hero is immune this turn. Shadow Blade. So, I mean, it's a weapon that you kill something and not take damage the first one. But stat-wise, it's really weak, right? I think it's the stats of a Fiery War Axe for mana more, and you don't take damage, I guess. But if you want to use this to its full potential, it's early game. And a lot of stuff early doesn't have that much health, have that much damage anyway to affect too much. There are going to be situations where it does save you, but...
Outside of Warrior, no other class gets a 2-mana 3/2 weapon, so this is on par with that. The Battle Cry is pretty sweet. With a card that's coming up soon, you can reuse the Battle Cry, which is kind of cool. I don't know. If your deck wants weapons and doesn't want to play Obsidian Blade or Shard, whatever it's called, I think this is where you head to.
Yeah, it's definitely better than Assassin's Blade because of the mana.
Yeah, being able to punch something in the face without ruining yourself is pretty cool on a battle cry, and because you can reuse it in certain situations, I think it might see play if the deck that you're running wants another weapon.
Yep, I agree. I think it's a okay card, I guess, now that I think of it, but that was me thinking that rogues might have had other good weapons. I guess they haven't in a while, so.
Yeah, I mean, I still like Obsidian Shard, but it does cost 4 and is usually in a Burgle deck, so. So next up we have 4 mana Runeforge Haunter.
Ooh.
During your turn, your weapon does not lose durability. It's 5/3. So, I mean, it's essentially just reads 4 mana 5/3, your weapon gains 1 durability, because it's not very likely that this lives more than a turn.
Yeah, what do you think of it?
It's not bad. I mean, I don't think there's an archetype that wants it. Maybe Tempo Rogue if that's a deck. But the stats are trash. Like 5/3s don't like die to everything.
Yeah, it should be a 5/4.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think it does much. Like I said, the archetype that it might go into, and it's very big maybe, is Tempo Rogue. But I still think you want Naga or Dread Corsair. Dread Corsair. Which one is the 4 mana 5/4 that gives you your weapon +1 attack?
Naga, I think.
Yeah.
Dread Corsair is the taunt.
Okay, so yeah, Naga. So I think you play Naga over this, but because it just has 1 more health. So.
Well, my thing is my argument earlier was that the weapons suck, so I'm still gonna go with that. There's no point of giving more durability to something if your weapons suck anyway. Most of the time, you're gonna have your hero power on this, and yeah.
Yeah, if you're smart with your hero power, more durability doesn't really matter.
Yep. So, next card is Doomerang. 1 mana. Throw your weapon at a minion. It deals its damage, then returns to your hand. What? That's cool. So, when I first saw this art, by the way, it looked like an undead soldier jumping and, like, doing a skydive.
Just like, sorry, kick somebody.
Yeah, but apparently it's not. It's a Doomerang. I think it's a pretty cool card. If you are low durability in one of your weapons, it's really good. You just get it back.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. Like, because you can still get the full value out of your weapon, and you still get it back to your hand as well. So, like, let's just say you have 4 mana and you cast Shadow Blade. You deal 3 to something, nothing to your face. Deal 3 to something else, deal nothing to your face, get your Shadow Blade back. So 4 mana, you did 6 damage, and only cost you 1 card.
Just to make sure you get, and it's worded as you get the weapon back. You get the weapon back, not the Doomerang, right?
That's how I'm assuming it, yeah. If Doomerang came back to your hand, I guess that's still pretty cool, because you can just throw your other weapon again. And you have a 1 mana card in order to trigger combo and stuff. But I assume it's the weapon.
Yeah, it's worded as the weapon, so. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Maybe I'm just wrong about rogue weapons, and some of them are actually good. I don't know.
Yeah, it sucks that you lose any buffs, but not too many folks are playing the
Deadly
poison. Deadly poison, or we don't think the lifesteal poison will see play. So weapon buffs don't really matter if you can just get the full weapon back to your hand. So I think this card is pretty good, and it'll probably see.
Yeah, and especially if a weapon rogue becomes a thing, this would be really good. Because I'm assuming it would do the effects too, like if you have the leeching poison or whatever it was, you'd get the leech effect, I'd assume.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Alright, next one.
So we have 6 mana, 5/5 Spectral Pillager. Combo, deal damage equal to the number of cards you have played this turn. So, okay. This is a cool effect. I think it's costed and statted wrong. I think, like, 6... I wish it had less power toughness, and it cost a lot less in order for it to be good, because 6 is a lot. Like, even if you coin, prep, something, prep, you deal 5, and you cost... unless you have Auctioneer, you just burnt a lot of stuff, so... I would have rather this cost a lot less mana, and then it might see play in Miracle or something like that, but as it stands, I don't think it does.
I don't know, I feel like this card is really good, because it does cost 6, but if you have 10 mana, you could... And, well, nah, maybe not, because by then you probably used a coin or two, right? Because
yeah,
I'm thinking in my head, you have this card, 3 coins, preparation, and 2 other cards, right? And you have 10 mana altogether. You have 4 mana to play around with other stuff. You could potentially deal a shitload of damage, especially if you have, you know, backstabs and other shit in your hand. I definitely would... It's going to be a fun deck for sure. Because not many people will expect this, I don't think. And then if you had Emperor Tharson or whatever... I mean, oh my gosh, that'd be so fun. And then if you Mimic Podded a whole bunch of stuff earlier in the game, I think it's going to be a fun card.
Yeah, if it goes anywhere, it probably goes in Miracle, but I think Leroy is just a better finisher because it's like guaranteed 6 to the face, and this you have to play 6 cards first.
I agree.
And I think in order to get like value for the 6 mana you pay, you probably need to play 3 spells before. Like, if you're doing less than 3 damage, you're not getting anything out of it. So, and even then, wait, I lied. You probably need to do 4 because 6 mana 6/5 is Flame Elemental. It does 3, so you need to do 4 damage.
Yeah, but I mean, it does have its benefits over Leroy. I'm not going to compare it to Fire Elemental because that's a different class. The Leroy is blocked by taunts. This isn't, so. But yeah, Leroy is better, though. I'm just trying to defend this a little.
Yeah.
Ooh, next card. 4 for a 4/5. Lillian Voss. First of all, 4 for a 4/5 is really good stats. I'm just going to throw that out there right now. Battlecry, replace spells in your hand with random spells from your opponent's class. That could actually be really good, but I guess you wouldn't use it with a combo deck, right? You'd fill your deck with some shitty spells or something? I don't know. I think it's a fun card and good.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Burgle-esque effects go into Tempo Rogue. And this being a 4-mana 4/5, it's a Yeti with upside. I mean, but I really like Rogue spells. So, like, I don't really necessarily want to lose my Eviscerate for a Play Dead or something like that. So, I don't know. It might see play in something like a Tempo Rogue. It probably goes in a Burgle Rogue, which is a very fun deck to play. I'm not sure how competitive it is out of that.
Yeah, it definitely is a fun card. Because is Burgle even competitive? I know it's like one of the funnest decks to play, but is it competitive?
I think it's fun. It's definitely a lot of RNG based. I've gotten some ranks with it. But you play a lot of vanillas. Like you play your Yeti and then to your Peddler, which is a pit fighter. So a lot of vanillas that you can lose tempo on if you get shit RNG.
Yeah.
So next we have Valera the Hollow. 9 mana, Battlecry, gain stealth until your next turn, which is fucking nuts. Gain 5 armor. So let's go over to hero power, I guess. During your turn, it's passive. It doesn't cost you any mana. So during your turn, add a Shadow Reflection to your hand, and if they show those, they do. Scroll down. Each time you play a card, transform this to a copy of it. So basically, you draw 2 cards, or every turn you get a Mimic Pod. Kind of. You can kind of choose what you want that to be. But yeah. So outside of that, like that's pretty good in itself. but just giving your hero stealth for a whole turn, like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's really good unless they have like a random deal 5 like Mind Blast or something. But what are the chances of that's really low?
It's really low. Yeah, I mean, untargeted damage is hard to find these days. I think this card's great, but I don't know where it goes. Like, does it go into Miracle? Do you put it in Tempo? Not really. Tempo usually stops their curve at about 5. So I think this creates a new deck, but I don't know what it looks like because I'm terrible at building road decks.
Yeah, I just looked at Flare, and Flare only works at minions, so you can't really get rid of this, can you?
No, I mean, it's just a whole turn where your opponent can't hit you in the face, which is awesome. Like, I wish there was a way to just keep getting this battle cry so you can just lol all day. There isn't a good way to do it.
Oh man, this would be broken if Conceal was still a thing. Oh gosh.
Yeah. I mean, what if Conceal could work at your heroes?
Ugh. This might be my favorite hero, actually. I mean, Uther's pretty cool, but...
I still like Uther more, just because of the playstyle, but this creates a new rogue deck, I think, and I think it's going to be fun as hell, so I'm excited for this card for sure.
Uther and this girl are probably my favorite. I wanted Jaina to be better, but she's not bad. She's just not amazing. I don't play Priest enough for it to matter. I'm not even going to talk about the other ones, because I don't care.
Alright, so we got Shaman now.
Oh, 2 for a 2/3 Brock.
It's 2/2.
Battle cries. Oh, my bad. 2 for a 2/2. Freeze an enemy minion. It has the Murloc tag, so just by that, I think it might be played. Fair ability.
It does. It's freezing enemies, so you can hit the heroes. I think it would be cool if it just had freeze a character, just because there's a little bit of synergy with freezing your own stuff, kind of. I mean, okay, so there's Ice Shard is a 1-mana 2/1 with the same ability essentially, and it's an elemental. This is a Murloc. Does that? I don't know if that changes too much.
Well,
but
Shamans use Murloc a lot, so.
Yeah, I mean, there are ways to tutor this. You can just draw it with the next card. I don't know. I think this needs a dedicated strategy. I don't think you jam this into a Murloc-based Shaman. But
I don't think you'll play it, but when you draw it with the Murloc quest, it's going to be pretty useful.
Yeah. I just wish you had more flexibility than just freeze an enemy. Then I'd be at least content with it, but I think it's lacking. Anyway, next we have 2-mana Ice Fishing. Draw 2 Murlocs from your... So that's just good. Like, normally 2 cards cost you 3 mana. This gives you 2 cards for 2. And you can kind of get what you want by just running certain Murlocs, like Finja, or if you really wanted to, Corrupted Seer, you know, for a 6-mana Consecrate with the 2/3 buff. You know, you can either put all the Murlocs in your deck, or certain Murlocs, and then use this to get them to your hand when you want. I don't know, this has potential, especially with all the Murloc synergies that Shaman has.
I think this card's insanely good, because not only are you taking 2 Murlocs out of your deck, because, you know, it's either the draw mechanic is you draw cards from randomly out of space, or you mill your own deck to get the good cards later on the draw. So you're potentially removing 2 draws from your deck that are probably shitty. Let's be honest, they're Murlocs. They have to be together. So you're removing 2 from your deck, so later on you can draw that, you know, Lightning Storm or some shit that's actually important as a draw. There's no overload on this, which is great. So I guess the only other reliable draw Shaman had was the Totem, right? And this one just gets you 2, and, you know, Totem could die, but Totem could also stay in the field for a long time. But getting 2 Murlocs from your deck and allowing you to make your top decks better is really good.
Yeah. It's so unfortunate that if you don't have 2 Murlocs, you just don't draw anything. But yeah, I think that card's fine.
Ooh. So next card is 3 mana, 2/8 taunt, overload 3, Drakari Defender. I think this card's good. Obviously, overload sucks, but overload sucks in anything. So you basically, if you play this turn 3, you have 1 mana the next turn. Shaman has a good amount of 1 mana stuff, so I don't feel bad. But this is really good against Pirate. But it's really bad against Priest. So take it as you will. I think it's a solid card. Don't think it's amazing, but it's definitely a solid card.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think of what this card would cost if it didn't have overload. It wouldn't cost. It'd probably cost 5. So, I think this could have been overload 2, and it might be okay. But since it's overload 3, if you play it on curve, you can't even hero power on turn 4. So I think I don't think it'll see a lot of play because of that. Yeah, I could be wrong because it does put a nice stop on any aggro deck. But it is essentially playing it on curve makes you take off your whole next turn. So.
Yep.
I don't know. I think it could have been overload 2 and been much better, but as it stands, probably.
I think it's a pretty solid card. I won't play it, but I'm pretty sure people will.
Yeah. So next up we have a new weapon, 3 mana, Icebreaker, 1/3. Destroy any frozen minion damaged by this. So this weapon is trash if you're not attacking frozen target.
Yep, I think it's just trash in general. You need a condition before it to actually do anything good. Well, I mean, there's also benefits. You could destroy that Ysera really easily, but I want to say 80% of situations this card sucks.
Yeah, I mean, because Shaman doesn't have like a freeze on a stick. I mean, they have Burlock and stuff like that, but that Burlock's a pretty bad card to just jam in your deck to make this work. So if there was a card like Cryomancer, I think Mage has, like whenever you cast a spell, freeze something. If there was a card like that, I could see this potentially doing something, but even still, 2-card combos where you just need something dead and you can't kill it otherwise with this weapon, I don't think this weapon does anything.
Yep, I think it's bad. Ooh, Avalanche.
This card,
So 4 mana, freeze a minion and deal 3 damage to adjacent ones. So it's comparable to Cone of Cold, right? But Cone of Cold freezes all. That's the difference.
Yeah, I mean,
this is a really solid card. I really like this.
They both cost 4. Cone of Cold does 3 damage total. This does 6 damage total. I think this card's pretty good. Although there is a lot of 4 mana removal in Shaman right now. There's Jade, Lightning, there's Healing Surge, I think it's called. Deal 4 to a minion, heal yourself for 4. And then there's this. You probably still play Jade Lightning, just because Claws is still really good, so Jade Lightning's pretty much free.
Yeah, Jade Lightning goes face.
Yeah, that too. But I think once those rotate this card, it definitely comes to the limelight a little bit. And this might see play now, even. I'm just saying, I think Jade Lightning overshadows it just a little bit. But this card's definitely solid.
I'm pretty sure Jade Lightning's like way better. Because freeze, you generally want to slow the enemy so you can kill them, right? Or at least stall the game. Like, in this sense, you're only freezing 1, which is okay. And I don't know, I feel like a lot of people are doing really good at placementing nowadays ever since Meteor came out. Well, some people are more aware to place your minions better, so pretty sure a lot of people are going to start doing it. Because, you know, if you're a noob player, you just place them randomly, but later on, when you get better, you just place them correctly, and you can easily avoid a lot of shit with that. I mean, it's still going to hurt you, but Jade Lightning's way better.
Yeah. Alright, so moving on, we have Shaman's 5 mana, 2/7 taunt with an effect. Freeze any character damaged by this ability. And it's cool. I mean, that stat line, it will always be bad against Priest. I do like, I can never remember the name of the cards now. Goddamn. The Warrior one, the 5 mana, 2/7 taunt. Any damage it deals, gain that much in armor. I really like that card. because that's a lot of armor. Like, it almost guarantees you 4 armor attached to it. But this, freezing, I don't think that's what Shaman really cares about.
Obviously, they're trying to push freezing, but they're pushing off crappy cards, so I don't care.
Right, it's not like Discard Lock, where they've slowly trickled in freeze effects throughout the whole time, and they're like super buffing it now. This is like the first expansion with a bunch of freeze effects, and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah. I'm done talking about this card.
I don't think it does anything. There's better taunts at 5 mana anyway. Hell, there's better taunts at 4 mana.
Ooh, 2 mana Cryo status. Give a minion +3/+3 and freeze it. I like this card. Cryostasis. I like this card though. Feel like there's multiple things since it's not your own minions. I know you get +3, but if it's late game and they have this thing that might kill you, you can just freeze it, or you can use it on your own stuff. But you know, it's a thing where it doesn't do much until next turn. But I think the flexibility makes it good. Will it see play? I mean, I don't think it's amazing or anything. I just said I think it's good, so probably not.
Yeah, I mean, you can always do the old combo where you give it +3/+3 and freeze it, and then silence the freeze, and bam.
Yep, make the card useless. I agree.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think this sees any constructed play, but it is a cool effect.
Yep, I like the fact that it's flexible. Oh,
yeah.
Next one was
It's
cool.
better than the Demon Fuse or whatever the fuck the Warlock one. Alright, so we have a Giant, 11 mana Giant, 8/8, obviously. Costs 1 less mana crystal for each overloaded mana you've had this game. It is an elemental, which is technically relevant. Probably not going to do anything, however. Because I don't know. Oh, you don't really want all the overload, and you need, in order to get this on like turn 6, you had to have overloaded 5 by turn 6, which means you're probably on overload by turn 6, so you can't play this anyway.
Yeah. My thoughts is I don't think this is gonna see standard. Arena is even iffy, but in Wild this might be crazy.
Crazy, he said. Yeah, I mean, if this card sees any play, I think it's because you discovered it off Servant of Calamo.
Yeah. And if you played it in Wild, dude, you can reset that overload so easily.
Yeah, it's true. That is true.
Ooh. We have Thrall next. You do all the heroes anyway, so go ahead.
Alright. So 5 mana Thrall, Death Seeker. The cheapest Death Knight hero. Transform Battlecry, transform all minions into random ones that cost 2 more. Gain 5 armor. So, and its hero power is 2 mana, evolve a friendly minion. So, I think this card's really good in a current build. I think it just slots right into Token Shaman, because you have your board full of 1/1 Murlocs, and you go, okay, now they're 3-drops. And I think Dog said it. It's basically another Bloodlust. Like, I think this card's in that shell, and it's also a very fun card in any Evolve shell that you want to play. So I think this card sees play in Token Shaman competitively, and it just goes into any Evolve build either way.
I think this card can go in most Shaman decks. I mean, that 5 cost is insane, and the effect is really good. So, I would even go as far as this can almost go in any deck. This is probably an auto pick in Arena, too, because in Arena, you're trying to get the biggest creatures. And in Standard, like, unless you have a 0-cost mana card, this is generally good. Like, because I'm saying that these Doomsayer. The other bad ones would be, like, you know, if you had the Bomb guy that does, or Bomb girl that does 5 to you. But generally, this will just wreck the other player, because unless they have AoE.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I don't know if these hero cards are pickable in Arena.
Really? Huh.
I mean, they've excluded cards before. They excluded all the Cthulhu stuff, so I don't know. It'd be cool if they were.
Did they?
Yep, all the Cthulhu cards are out of the range.
What? I swear I could have picked a Cthulhu card the other day. The 7/9
you're
top.
right.
Oh well.
No.
Alright.
Why don't you tell us new Rabby here?
6 mana for a 4/4. Whenever another minion is frozen, add a copy of it to your hand. Oh fuck, they're really trying to push this freeze thing. Since I already said freeze sucks in my mind, I have nothing to say about this. I think it's gonna be trash.
Yeah, it's a 6 mana 4/4 that is only good if you can follow it up with a freeze effect. So you're not playing it on turn 6, and then you draw a card that has to be on the field already. So you're probably losing to it if you want it that badly.
Yep.
This card's not good. Yep. Not excited about it. Let's see. Can we pause real quick? Do you have the ability to pause?
Yeah. We are live again with the final part. Probably the second and third part will be combined, but whatever. I'll just go ahead and start. 1 for a 1/1 Sanguine Reveler? Sanguine? Am I saying that right? It's blood, right? Blood.
Yeah, Sanguine.
Battle Cry, destroy a friendly minion and gain +2/+2. I think in a zoo deck this is okay. Because, you know, Flame Imp is less stats, but I guess you don't have to kill a minion. But you also can combine this with the Possessed Villager, and pretty good. That's a really good turn 1 coin, so.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's... If Zoo becomes popular again, right now Zoo's beaten out of the meta because of, like, Pirate Warrior and stuff like that. But if Zoo comes back, this will be a fine choice for a 1 mana 3/3. It is important to know that you have to kill something if there is a target. So you can't, like, not kill your Doom Guard or whatever.
Yeah, so this is a dead draw sometimes is what you're saying?
Yeah, so. But in the situations where it's a 1 mana 3/3, it's pretty great. The sacrificing a minion isn't really that big of a deal, so. Next up, we have 2 mana, Drain Soul, Lifesteal, deal 2 damage to a minion. So, this almost already existing game called Drain Life at 3 mana, and it's unplayable. Drain Soul, pretty good. I'm just gonna say that. Like, 2 mana, deal 2, gain 2 is pretty good, especially in Warlock, because Warlock needs a lot of healing if they wanted that control-based game.
So what is this comparative to? It's comparative to the 3 mana you said that basically does the same thing, but you can hit the hero too. So you're trading 1 mana for the effect of, well, I guess it's 1 more mana to hit a hero. I definitely agree with you though. This is way better because it's actually playable now.
Yeah, like in like all of Angora, Warlock hasn't really been seen. I think Warlock's coming back with this expansion, and the control-based ones are going to be happy to use this card. So I think this card's...
Yeah, pretty solid card because I mean, way back when people were even using Shadow Bolt, or not way back when, a few expansions ago they were using Shadow Bolt, which I think sucks. So this is better than Shadow Bolt in my mind. Next card is Howl Fiend. 3 mana for a 3/6. Good stat so far, but let's see the cost. It's a demon, so that's good. Whenever this minion takes damage, discard a random card. So, since I played discard Warlock, and there's like 3 cards that benefit from discard. Like 3 main ones. There's like the bullshit ones where if you discard then draw. I don't really consider those. Which is Clockwork Golem, or the ones that benefit is Clockwork Golem and the legendary, the whatever her name is, +2 when you discard her, and put it back in your hand. So unless I see more discard cards, I don't like this card, but we'll see. It is really good stats though, and if it's a top deck and you're out of cards, this card's amazing.
I mean, like, yeah, 3 mana 3/6 is great stats. I think if this, like, even if this doesn't go in Disco Lock, if Zoo comes back, this might slot in, because 3 mana 3/6 is great stats. You empty your hand as best you can anyway. So, yeah, I think if it sees play, it'll be in Zoo, maybe Disco Lock, if that's a thing. But yeah, that's about it. If not, I'm not surprised if it doesn't see play.
I mean, you could totally fuck with this card, though. I mean, if you had just a whole bunch of 1 tokens, you make them discard 6, screws with them. So I don't think it's amazing. Especially since, like I said, there isn't that many things if you discard out of your hand you get a benefit. If they added more cards like that, it'd be way better.
Yeah. So next up, we have an insane card. 2 mana, Defile. Deal 1 damage to all minions. If any die, cast this again. So, this card is crazy. Unfortunately, with the release of this card, they had to change Dreadsteed, which ripped Dreadsteed. But, yeah, I mean, you just can wipe the board for 2 mana. Which is nuts.
I think if you're playing this, you're going to play it in a way that it wipes the board anyway. Like, you'll maybe Hellfire first and then play it if you can't do it. So... Or, you know, hit something with a minion and then do it. So, a good player is going to make this work every time, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, like this card is nuts. This kills... You can make this card kill whatever you want for 2 mana. It sucks that Dreadsteed had to get changed. They could have easily just been, like, cast it a max of 20 times or something like that. But either way, this card's fine. This card's fantastic, actually, so I'm excited. Controlling Warlock was always fun to play, so...
I mean, I don't even think they needed to change Dreadsteed, right? It would have rotated out really fast.
Yeah, but you have a game-breaking thing. Like, it's an unbreakable combo if you let it as it was.
I guess. I guess it affects Wild.
One of the cards had to change.
Alright, well, you want to just go to the next one?
Yeah, I guess I will. Yeah. Okay. 3 mana, Unwilling Sacrifice. Choose a friendly minion, destroy it, and a random enemy minion. So, I mean, like, it's not terrible. Like, you know, you're in Warlock, so you don't really care about the 2-for-1 because you just get free cards anyway. And usually your minions are much more expendable than theirs. The only major problem is that it kills a random one of theirs. So.
Yeah, I agree. That's the main thing. I don't think this is a bad card, though. Just because what you said earlier, how your cards are really expendable. Like, I'm going back to Possessed Villager, but not even that. Like, there's a lot of other 1-drops that you can just throw away and you don't care. So, this will probably benefit you most of the time if you're playing it in a deck like Zoo. So, but even then, Zoo doesn't really run that many spells, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, they don't really care. But this isn't good against, like, if you are playing this as a Zoo, this isn't good in, like, the aggro mirror. You want this first control, usually. Things that you maximize the chance of you getting value out of it.
Yep. Not
killing their 2-1.
Yep, like that 2/7 or 2 whatever gain armor every time. You want to hit crap like that, or the Primordial Drake. So.
Yeah, I mean, so I wouldn't be surprised if it sees play, but I'm not surprised if it doesn't.
Yeah, it's an okay card though. Alright, next one is 5 mana, 4/5, Despicable Dreadlord. At the end of turn, deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. That's not bad. The stats are alright. I mean, they're the stats of a 4-drop, right? But the effect, it's like a Baron Geddon for their turn. Or their side, I guess. That's 1 less. So if you're versing something with low, like, cost like a rush thing, this is pretty good. But other than that, I don't really see it played. Like, I don't see it being played at all. But that's where it's useful, is if they have rush, right?
I think it'll see play. Like, this card has all the right numbers. I mean, the only way that it could be better is if it costs less. Like a 5 mana, 4/5 that with a repeatable 1-sided whirlwind that's also a demon. I think this card's crazy.
Oh yeah, it is demon, huh? Is there a lot of demon decks nowadays, or no?
I mean, there's the Warlock hero, but there's just other demon synergies. I mean, Warlock's not really played, so I don't know how to answer that. But there's always demon synergies in Warlock.
Alright, well. I didn't think the effect was that good, but I forgot it was a demon, so that might change a lot.
Yeah, I think this card's crazy.
Ooh, I'll do the next one.
Moving on.
Mine. 2 mana, 2/3 Gnome Veratu. I love this card. It's remove the top card of your opponent's deck. I mean, I don't even think it's that great. I just think it's awesome. The art's cool, and it's like they're removing. You could really fuck over a control player with this card. That's why I think it's so good. I think it's gonna be an auto include in a lot of decks. Well, Zoo decks at least. At the very least, it probably won't be put into control at all. Now that I think of it, but I think it's a really good card because there's no other effect in the game like this. I don't think, other than the Hunter one where you remove your own stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like this card is even like costed more for its effect. It's just a 2 mana 2/3 with a quote unquote upside. It's fine. You're right. This effect isn't in game anywhere. It could potentially ruin control players' game plan, combo players' game plan. But in the end, it's still a Qoheleth. So if that's what you need in your deck, go for it.
I also like the fact that like right now there's nothing discard, and a lot of other card games have discard. So this is like a really close to milling, which I guess technically we already had mill, but in a way that you draw it and then burn the card until it. But this one just removes it, and there's nothing in game that you look through your discard. So this is just really awesome effect in my mind.
Yeah, it's got a lot of players hyped. So next we have Treachery. 3 mana, choose a friendly minion and give it to your opponent. Okay. So this is obviously a combo card. This is not something you run just to run. You give your opponent the 3 mana 3/6 demon, and then make them discard their hand. You give them Bomb Squad, I think the name of it is, like the 5 mana 2/2 that deals 5 on play and then deals 5 to you when it dies. You know, there are ways that you can make this card good. I mean, there's a card just like it in Magic that even costs 3 that saw a lot of play. So I have no doubt that a deck will be built around this card at some point by somebody that will see some play in some fashion. So.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a pretty good card. You just have to build around it because, you know, there's a lot of death rattles that have negative effects for you. But you just throw that crap away with this, so.
Yeah, I think this is cool. I mean, it's cool just to have in game anyway, like just to have that option in Hearthstone. So I'm glad they put it.
Yeah, Wild is gonna be crazy in a few years. Well, I mean, it's crazy now, so. Oof, okay. I don't want to do this, but okay. 5 mana, 1/6 Lifesteal Blood Queen Lanathil. Lifesteal has 1 attack for each card you've discarded this game. I mean, I barely see any discard stuff, and a lot of the times you're not getting the benefit of the other legendary where you discard, and when you discard it gets +2, or the Clockwork Golem, because that's 3 cards. So anything else you discard, you don't really benefit from it, which sucks.
Do you mean Silverware Golem when you said that?
Yeah, Silverware Golem, sorry, my bad.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I was just making sure. I couldn't remember what Clockwork Golem did. But yeah, I think this card's bad, mostly because Disco Lock is just inherently like an aggro deck. Like, it'll never be a slow deck. So, like, there's a good chance that you play this in your deck. One, even if you don't discard it, you have to discard 4 to 5 things in order to make it worth it for its stats. And then you have a 5/6 or a 6/6 lifesteal, which is kind of cool, I guess. But I don't know, like, I'm not excited for this card. It might see play because people want to make Disco Lock work, but I think most of the time you just end up discarding this card, and you didn't do it.
Yep. Yeah, because a lot of the times Disco Lock discards, all the times it discards random cards, and that's a problem. And like, every time I said Clockwork Golem, I meant Silverware Golem, the earlier part of this video, but yeah, like, if they added more cards like Silverware Golem, I think it could work, because, you know, you discard something and then you play it on the field. That was a huge benefit. Because, you know, if you played the Fellhound that discards 2, you have like a 3/8 taunt or whatever it is, and then you get 2 Silverware Golems, you win the game a lot of the time with that. So.
Yeah, I mean, and Malchezaar's Imp is a very strong card.
Yeah.
but it's also really strong because it's a 1/3. So
It's not consistent though. Discard Lock is just not a consistent deck. You'll get some wins every now and then, but it's not going to win you a lot in the long run, from my experience. So maybe I was just unlucky.
Yeah, I think Zavis, the card that gets plus 2/2 and goes back to your hand, is just a better legendary and card for Disco Lock because it actually actively does something as you discard it. So
I don't even like her legs, to be real. So okay.
Yeah. So moving on, we have Blood Reaver Gul'dan, everyone's favorite Death Knight Warlock. 10 mana, Battlecry, summon all friendly demons that die this game, gain 5 life. So, yeah, and his hero power is lifesteal, deal 3 damage, which is awesome. Like, holy shit, that's awesome.
That's insane.
I honestly don't know how to rate this card because I'm not too sure on the standard demons. In Wild, I think the demons are really awesome. At 10 mana, it's all you're doing all that turn. You can't even hero power, so it's the demons that you summon better hopefully save your life or make sure you don't die. But yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of cool that you can go Jiraxis and then turn 10 do this. So you have 20 health and a 3/8 weapon and a hero power that heals you. And it would be cool after that if you still summon Jiraxis with his battle cry. I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah, I'm not either.
But I mean, I have a difficult time with this card because one, I don't know how good the demons are to be running this shell. I don't know how good. I don't think this card's very good without the demons. So you have to make that work. But I hope it does work because I would love to play with this.
So my thoughts on this is, first of all, demons, the concept of most demons in the game, or not concept, that's not the word, the benefit of it is you hurt yourself or there's something negative when you play them or when they're on the field, right? So with this, you don't have to get the bad battle cry and all that crap, you just summon it on the board, which is great. And 10 mana is perfect for this, actually, because that means you play it late game. Hopefully you're not dead by then, but since the hero power heals you, you don't really need life tap anymore. Like, there's some, like, a lot of control, you'll have to use life tap later on in the game, but most of your life tapping is, like, early and mid-game from what I remember, so you'll summon all your minions, or demons, rather, and demons generally, like I said, have a really strong stats or something like that, but at the negative effect of bad battle cry or something of the sort. So you don't have to, you get rid of half of the bad effects because, you know, some of them are death rattle and etc. So you get rid of the bad effects, at least half of them, and then you'll summon a shitload of pretty strong minions, or at least fairly strong because they're demons. And that's just how demons are in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I think this card is very strong. I just don't know where it does in stand.
Yeah. I don't like the icon for Siphon Life, though, because it makes it give the illusion that Gul'dan's gonna bite. And that's not even Gul'dan's teeth. He has, like, werewolf teeth, not vampire teeth. Whatever.
Yeah, hero powers like to do that. I mean, the upgraded version of Shadow Form shows a warlock. It's corruption, actually.
Oh, wow. Alright.
Yeah, they do that shit all the time. Alright, so, last class, we got Warrior.
Wow, okay.
Animated Berserker. 1 mana, 1/3. After you play a minion, deal 1 damage to it. This card's great, in my opinion.
Yeah, this card's amazing. Because, like, it normally would sound shitty, but Warrior likes to hurt itself.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that, like, you don't play this in Pirate, which is great. Like, or maybe you do. I don't think you do.
I don't think you do.
Because 1 mana, 1/3s were kind of why you played Finley, but it also gave you a more useful hero power, so that's why you played Finley. But anyway, I just think this card's great in, like, a tempo-based warrior deck. You know, you're trying to curve out and kill their stuff and create threats on the board. And I think this guy's just great at all that, so this definitely sees play in, like, a tempo-oriented.
I mean, we talked earlier about Malkazar's Imp or whatever his name is. that we liked it because it was a 1/3. The effect was okay. This effect is really good in certain warrior decks. The ones like with Frothing Berserker or the ones that have enrage effects. You could even argue that the Arm or whatever Garibaldi trolls or whatever the fuck they're named, all the trolls that give the Berserk effect, that would be good in those decks too. This could even make its own deck if you want to. And there's 1/3.
There's a lot of whirlwind effects in the tempo deck, so I mean you're no shortage of getting your damage based combos off. And this card just helps you with that, and it's a 1-mana 1/3 in warrior, so the card's great. I'm excited.
Oops. Alright. Next one. 2 mana, Forge of Souls, draw 2 weapons from your deck. I don't think any deck right now runs a shitload of weapons. I don't know how good this is. So what do you think on this?
Alright, so I think what's really cool is that, like, turn 1 on the coin, you can coin this and get a Fiery War Axe in your hand for turn 2.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, yeah, I think, well, I'm pretty sure in Warrior you obviously still run Fiery War Axe, and then there's a new weapon that came out in the set that's actually next, that you'd probably still run at least one, So you're probably going to have 4 weapons in your deck, and with that you probably run this at 1. So, I mean, on average, you shouldn't have more than 4 to 5 weapons in your deck anyway. So, I mean, this usually isn't a dead card, and it's a way to draw 2 cards for 2 mana, and it's just, like, increasing that chance of getting Fiery War Axe in your opening hand by turn 2, so that you can get board control, is worth playing anyways. I think this card's pretty good, and it's usually a 1-of.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it's going to be more than a 1-of if it is played. I do like that it draws 2 things, which, drawing 2 for 1 is really good, part of greed, But, the weapon thing I can't get past because, a lot of the times you're not going to have that many weapons. But yeah, I guess if we play double War Axe plus the other 2, it's great. So, 4 weapons is a solid number for this card, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I mean, like, with this next card that's coming up, it's got a Death Rattle that is really good. So, I mean, we saw when Deathspite was in play, people will call over they would play a fresh Deathblade, or Deathspite, play over it to get a Death Rattle with another Deathspite or something like that. So, they would just use that weapon to get more effects off. And this draws you more weapons, so you can do that potentially.
Yep. Alright, go ahead.
So, 4 mana, 2/2 weapon, Battlecry and Death Rattle, Bloodrazor, deal 1 damage to all minions. So, Whirlwind coming in, Whirlwind going out. It's not Deathspite, but this card is still fantastic. This card is great.
I would agree.
Like, this is as close, this is what I think they wanted Deathspite to be, and then they met Deathspite and made a mistake, and they're like, oh shit.
Yeah, Deathbite was pretty broken. It was like in every warrior deck, like a Fiery War Axe. But now, like, this thing's pretty balanced, though, I think, because it's not too strong. It's actually really weak, but the effect is really good with a lot of warrior stuff. Frothing, for example, you could... Like, if you had Frothing on the field and maybe there's a few minions, you could Forge of Souls and play 2 of these, and that's 3 to everything.
Yeah. This card definitely sees play in some capacity, even if it's a 1-of. Like, it's just so...
I agree. That's pretty cool. Ooh. A 3 for a 4/3 Death Rattle. If it's your opponent's turn, gain 6 armor. Mountain Fire Armor. I mean, let's see. If it's your opponent's turn, gain 6 armor. So as long as... I think this card's okay. So they have to kill it to gain 6 armor?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I read. The card is, I mean, it's poorly statted for 3 mana. I think you would definitely want it to be a 3/4. But I mean, since it's got an aggressive attack, your opponent probably wants to kill it, so it doesn't hit in the face anymore. I don't know where this goes. It might go in tempo. Definitely doesn't go in pirate. It definitely doesn't go in control either. So I don't think this deck has
it's really
cards
weird.
at
Because it's like you want to play it, but where? Because it's a control because it gives you 6 armor to help you live. I guess that can be useful for anyone, but it wouldn't go in control, right? And then it's like not that great compared to other 3-drops. Like Frothing Berserker, I keep mentioning, but that's 3 mana.
3. Yeah, I mean, like, Warrior is a shit ton of 3-drops. Like, just Frothing, Ghoul. Not that you'd play those in the same deck, but then you got Shield Bash, or Shield Slam, whatever the hell it's called. Shield Block, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a shit ton of 3-drops in Warrior, so I just don't think this has a space. It's a cool card. Doesn't have a...
It's a cool concept because it's like, if your opponent does it, but I don't think it will see play in either Arena or Standard. Well, I mean, I guess obviously Arena if there was nothing better, but you know. All right. 3 mana.
3.
Oh, you gonna go?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
3 mana, 1/4, Valkyr Soulclaimer. Whenever this minion survives damage, summon a 2/2 ghoul. Well, I don't like the stats. I'll throw that right now. I mean, you can make it summon a few ghouls really easily, but just because of the stats, I don't think it'll see play. And even the minions you summon aren't strong, so...
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely plenty of whirlwind effects, and even that 1 mana 1/3 that we were talking about. That, you know, you just play this on turn 3, you get yourself a 2/2 and a 1/3. So, but if that's good enough, I don't know. By itself, it is garbage. So, it has potential, but I doubt it.
Yeah, you can play that 1/3 turn 1, coin out this, and then have a field of 1/3, 1/3, and 2/2, which isn't even that great. So yeah, I don't think they'll see play. I mean, the ghouls are just too weak. But I mean, if they were stronger, it'd be broken. So it's like, eh.
Yeah.
Well, there's
So
the ghoul.
next up, we have a card that's pretty disgusting. 5 mana, 3/3, Death Revenant, Battle Cry. Gave 1/1 for each damaged minion. Yeah, I don't like it. It's overpriced. You need to have 3 damaged minions in order to make it worth. But then you're playing a 6/6. Do you need a 6/6 in your deck for no reason?
I think it should have been 4 mana, 2/3, and maybe it'd be playable. But definitely don't think it's playable. There's just too much you have to do beforehand.
Yeah, I think it's pretty good. So I don't expect this card to do anything.
Ooh, 2 mana, Dead Man's Hand. Shuffle a copy of your hand into your deck. I mean, it's an interesting card. I don't know if it'll see play. Maybe in control. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, this goes into a control deck and a control heavy meta. And what's really cool is that if you have 2 of them in your hand and you play one, the other one gets shuffled back into your hand, so you can pretty much just go infinite and never fatigue.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's cool. It's a cool card. Like nothing's ever been done like this in Hearthstone, so it's hard to evaluate. But it's got potential. But it is still technically 2 mana, do nothing. So.
Yep, pretty much. There's better 2-drops that are more active. So
Next up, we have 2 mana, Bring It On. Gain 10 armor. Reduce the cost of minions in your opponent's hand by 2. So, this card's okay. 2 mana, gain 10 armor is definitely, above the pay grade. Like, normally, other healing in classes is 3 mana, gain 8. So it's 2 mana, gain 10, but you have a pretty large downside. So, I think you would want to play this late game, obviously. You don't want to do it when your opponent has a bunch of cards in hand. Otherwise, you just cast like 5 Enervates for him.
Yeah, I would agree. But like late game, if you use this, like you use 2, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a shit ton of its survivability. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if this card does stuff, but I'm also, it's one of those things where I'm not surprised if it doesn't.
I can't wait to see a streamer just coin this out, and then the paladin like plays Smuggler's Run, and then the guy's like, oh well, fuck.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you play it early, they have less cards in hand. Like, if you coin this out and they play a 1-drop, or if they had played a 1-drop and you coin this out, they have 3 cards in hand. So it's only 3 innervates at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I like the card. I think it's good. It's just you have to be smart using it. That's it. But I think it's an amazing card.
Unlike this.
Ugh, rot face. 8 mana, 4/6. I'm just gonna go ahead and say those stats suck. Whenever it survives damage, and you know there's gonna be a 50-50 chance if it does survive damage though, because you know it just depends on what's on board. But it just has way low stats, and then summon a random legendary. You could get a lot of shitty legendaries with this.
This card is hot garbage.
Yeah. It even looks like garbage,
This card is
literally.
Yeah. Like, Raynad tore this card, like, he just tore this card to bits, and if you really want to know my opinion, I agree 100% to him, so just go watch his opinion.
Cool.
This card is terrible.
Ooh.
So we're going to talk about a cool card. Scourge Lord Garrosh. 8 mana, equip a 5/3 Shadowmourne that also damages adjacent minions, gain 5 armor. And your hero power becomes Whirlwind. So, Shadowmourne is pretty cool. I'm pretty sure that's all it does, is that it has splash damage, so you can go 12 to the face, or you can deal 12 to the board each swing. So, yeah, I think this card is incredibly powerful. It costs 8, which is good, so it allows you to armor up, then cast it, or cast it, then Whirlwind. And then that Whirlwind hero power makes it so that your Grom, or whatever the fuck his name. What's the name of the charger? The 4/9 charger.
I think it's Grom. Garrosh? Wait, no, it's Grom. It's Grom.
Garrosh.
It's Grom.
It's Grom. Yeah, right. This is whatever. It makes your finisher like always active. You don't. Have to,
Holy
like,
shit, we're dumb.
Wow. Anyway, like I think this card's pretty good. I think there's better finishers in like Control. I don't think it goes into Taunt Warrior. It might, but I don't think it does because there's overlapping of weapons and hero power, so definitely not actually. But I think like the Tempo Warrior that's kind of showing its face with these reveals, I think wants this card for sure.
Well, I mean, I like it, but I don't think it's great. Shadowmourne, it can do 12, you're right, but more instances than not, it's going to do 4 or 8. Bladestorm's cool, but you have to have a board that's, well, like, there's just too many things that need to go in place for this to actually be good, compared to Uther, as an example, or Valeria. You can just play those, and then it's just like, they're instantly good, or Gul'dan even, or all the other ones. This one, it's just like, you have a 4/3 weapon, you gain 5 armor, and, you know, depending on their board or your board, the rest of this is useless.
Yeah, I mean, Shadowmourne being able to deal 12 damage per swing to minions is pretty fucking powerful.
Yeah, the ability to do that is powerful, yes.
So, I mean, yeah, that's it for the class stuff.
Alright, I'll go ahead and take the next one.
Time to go through a bunch of garbage.
0 for a 1/1 Snow Flipper Penguin. It's a beast.
Yep. So when you build a beast, you give it +1/+1 for free. It's pretty good.
Alright, so this card's not going to be played.
No, you'll get it off random effect, and well, like I said, build a beast, and that's about it. Moving on, a 1 mana 2/1 Arcurate's Veteran. Battlecry, give a friendly minion +1 attack. Ooh, this is like abusive, but it's permanent. But it has the old stat line, but it gives 1 less attack, but it's still permanent. I think this card has potential.
I agree. It's I mean, it's gonna be good if Rush is a thing again, other than Pirate. Definitely, especially since this is a neutral, not anything like class specific. It brings back the abusive thing, a little less damage, but it's permanent. Really solid card. Like I said, if Rush is a thing again, it's gonna be useful.
Yep. All right. So next, 1 mana, 1/1, Dead Scale Knight, Murloc, life. Sure, I guess. I doubt it sees play.
Me too. Too weak.
Yep.
Alright, 1 for a 1/1, a Wretched Tiller. Whenever this minion attacks, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. I mean, if you're against a really, really, really slow deck, this is an amazing card. Other than that,
yeah,
it's
I mean,
trash.
it feels like Leper Gnome. But Leper Gnome is like guaranteed extra damage. So I think, and it also has death rattle bonuses. So I think if you need like a 3rd copy of Leper Gnome, you jam this. But otherwise, I don't think it does.
Yeah. And this isn't even pre-Leper Gnome nerf either, so that kind of sucks. I like that he... Well, I don't like that he's riding the donkey really weird, or at least it looks like he is. Or whatever.
Yeah, it's weird. It's goofy.
Ooh, the next one, I really like the art.
Yeah, it's Sylvanas, probably. So, 2 mana, 2/1, Fallen Sun Cleric, Battlecry, give a friendly minion +1/+1 forever. So, I mean, if it was a 2 mana, 2/2, it'd probably be too good. As a 2 mana, 2/1 that gives something +1/+1, it's probably okay. I mean, it's on par with Shattered Sun Cleric, so
yeah,
it's just smaller. So it's
yeah.
I think it's strictly an arena card, and that's.
I agree. Not really much to say about that. The art's cooler though.
Yeah, I really dig the art.
Ooh, okay. 2 mana, 1/1, Tainted Zealot, Divine Shield, spell damage +1. I really like this card. I don't think it will see play, but if you play Wild and you want to do spell damage decks because they have the Master of Ceremonies, I think she is, this is going to be really good in that. But, I mean, the stats aren't that great, but spell damage is really fun to play around with, so I like the card because of that, but other than that, I don't think it's good.
Yeah, I mean, like, Thalnos is everyone's favorite 2 mana spell damage person. I don't think, if you need a second Thalnos, maybe you play. But, I mean, everyone was freaking out for a while that this isn't a file. It gives you 2 charges of 2 damage, and it might even continue that 2 damage. I don't know how it'll work, but I don't really see that being too great.
I don't even see Defile decks using that, but whatever.
Yeah, no, that's everyone was like, "Meh," but like I don't see those 2 things being necessary. Defile is just good enough on its own, right?
Yeah.
Next up, 2 mana, 2/3, Tuskar Fisherman, Battlecry, give a friendly minion +1 spell damage. So it has more stats than Kobold Geomancer, but in order to get the spell damage, you have to have something else on the board. I mean, it's another arena card. I doubt that this needs to go in anywhere near constructed. It's fine. 2 mana, 2/3 do fine in arena. So spell damage is just bonus, right?
Yeah, but, I mean, if you had a different one other than Crocodilus, you'd probably pick the different one, because a lot of times that spell damage isn't going to be useful. Even in Constructed, unless you're building around, you know, spell damage, it doesn't really matter. Most of your spells won't need spell damage. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's an okay card. It's by no means great. I mean, if we're judging cards by the image alone, this card's amazing, but we're not.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't see any standard implications with this card.
Yep, me neither. Death Speaker. 3 mana, 2/4. Battlecry, give a minion immune this turn. The stats are fair for a 3, right? That's normal. Give a friendly minion Divine Shield, basically, this turn is pretty good.
Yeah, except for it's not Divine Shield, right? So,
yeah.
Divine Shield lasts forever. Immune is just this turn. I mean, it's fine, because the only minion that has Battlecry, Gives and Divine Shield is in Paladin, so this is neutral. It's not bad. There's actually an infinite combo with this. There's a bunch of cards in this infinite combo, by the way. I don't remember them all, but it's this, Defile, and Knife Juggler. Basically, you just give the Knife Juggler Defile, and then somehow there's other stuff happens, and you deal like 80 damage.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, this card, Give a Friendly, that effect, if you're doing a whole bunch of trades early, like some type of, not zoo, but aggro deck, right? Where you try to control the board, this is going to be really good in that. I see this being really good in Arena, too, because the stats are fair and the effect is fair. So.
Yeah, I mean, the 2-mana 2/2 that gives Divine Shield and Paladin is pretty good in Arena. So this is obviously just as good. Not just, well, yeah. For other classes, this is just as good, and it has better stats. So 3-mana Hildnir Frost Rider, Battlecry, freeze your other minions. 3-mana 4/4. So I don't know if a 3-mana 4/4 is worth that downside. Like, you pretty much set your whole board back a whole turn. For a 3-mana 4/4, that's just not worth it. It's +1 attack out of vanilla.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's bad, actually. It's very situational. If you have anything on your side of the board, or, you know, too many, I guess, freezing small crap sometimes doesn't matter, but say they were clearing your board and you don't have anything anyway, playing this on basically nothing on your board is really good. But is it good enough to justify putting in your deck? I don't know. I doubt it.
Maybe if, what's that, Wailing Soul or whatever from Max in Wild, because that was a deck in, like, with Druid. Shut Up Druid or whatever.
Yeah.
That might do something. Yeah. I doubt it.
Well, it's like, freeze your other minions. If you had Taunt, it doesn't matter if they're frozen. If you don't have minions, you just get a 4/4 for 3 mana, which is really good. I see this being good. You just have to play it well, I guess. You know, it has to be great situations. And I mean, you know, if you play it and you freeze a 1/1, that's fine. Just attack with the 1/1 first and then freeze everything, then you're good. So you just got to be smart playing with it, basically.
Yeah.
3 for a 3/1 Vergul. Death Rattle, if it's your opponent's turn, summon a 2/2 Ghoul. I think this card sucks just because it's 1 health. But summoning a 2/2 Ghoul sucks.
If they ping it on their turn, you get your 2/2. So, like, it's okay. I kind of wish it was a 2-drop, but if it was like a 2-mana 2/1 that summoned a 2/2, that'd be too good. And if it was a 2-mana 1/1 that summoned a 2/2, that'd be not good either way. So, this card's not very good. It's too weird to cost, right?
Yeah, Harvest Golem used to be good, and the stats are better, so.
Yeah.
And it's
so,
guaranteed.
moving on.
And it's guaranteed.
Oh yeah, guaranteed. 4-mana 4/4 Grave Shambler. Whenever your weapon is destroyed, gain +1/+1 elemental. Nope.
Yeah. I mean, what's the best situation? Like, best situation on curve. Your weapon's about to die, you play this and then hit your weapon, and then it's a 5/5. So it's barely better than a Yeti. So, I mean, in that sense, it's good. But if you don't have the perfect situations, it's just a weak 4/4 for 4.
Yeah, it's not exciting. I guess you pick it in Arena if you have to, but...
Yeah. 4 mana for a 2/4, summon 2 1/1 skeletons. Grim Necromancer.
So, this is like that No Machine Vendor, right? Or whatever. Summon Mr. Pike.
Yeah.
2-mana 2/1.
Yeah.
Or the 2/1 or whatever. So that's a 4/5 for 4. This is a 4/6 for 4. But you have 2 smaller bodies. Or you get... Yeah, I mean, I think this card is better than that card, actually. Even though the other one technically gives you mech support. Or mech, yeah. This one will fill the same role in Arena.
Yeah, I mean, I like the card, kind of. I don't think it's great or anything, but it's not horrible. don't see it being played in Standard in any deck. Arena, maybe. I mean, if it is played in Standard, it's played in something like Evolve or Brood, right? Savage Roar?
Yeah, it's played in like Egg or something. Yeah, I wouldn't play this in Evolve because that just increases your chance of getting Doomsayer.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, you're gonna get Doomsayer.
Yeah, it's like 80% you get Doomsayer, right?
Yeah, it's silly. So, I mean, the card's fine in Arena. It's not bad, it's not amazing. So. 4 mana, Night Howler, 3/4. Whenever this minion takes damage, gain 2 attack. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, in the situation where you have the 1/3 damage, whatever you play, it's still a 5/3 for 4 mana, which is trash. So I don't think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I don't even think it's good in Arena, so I'm not even gonna worry about it.
Yeah. 4 mana, Wicked Skeleton, 1/1, Battlecry, 1/1 for each minion that died this turn. With all the Whirlwind effects, you'd think this would be okay at least, but you'd need a shitload of minions to die for this to be good. Like, well, it's an easy amount, it's just unlikely that you could set up a board that you could kill X amount of minions and then play this and it'd still be worth it.
Yeah, I mean, like, you have to kill 4 minions for it to be a 4 mana 4/5/5. That might happen in Arena sometimes, but it's likely. I mean, this top deck with an empty board is a 4 mana 1/1, and it takes a lot after that for this to get bigger than a 4 mana like 2/2 or something like that, right?
Yeah, there's just way better ones you could play for 4 mana.
Is that Kel'Thuzad?
I don't think so. Dude's too skinny. His armor is different.
Yeah. Alright. Anyway. Ooh. Ooh.
It's a leech. 5 mana, 4/4, Bloodworm, Lifesteal. Pretty standard. I mean, can't say much on it. It's a beast, so it gets basic effects, but that's about it.
I think the best part about this card is that it's neutral lifesteal. Like, it can go anywhere. Like, I think Warlocks might play this, based on what other people are saying. Warlocks might want this. Yeah, I mean, the biggest part about this card is that it's neutral lifesteal. So,
Yeah.
if that's needed for other classes, they got it, which is awesome. So.
Yep.
So moving on, Cobalt.
These neutral cards
Scalebane,
suck.
Yeah, I mean, these are all the comments, so I'm not too worried. Cobalt Scalebane, 5 mana 5/5 Dragon. At the end of your turn, give another friendly minion +3 attack. That's cool, I guess. I can't think of a dragon deck that wants this, but it's a dragon, so it ups the dragon count.
Yeah. I like the effect,
yeah.
I just don't like the mana cost, but, you know, if the mana cost was lower, it'd be broken. The stats 5/5 for 5 mana is okay. It's not great. But the effect, I mean, if you think of it with the effect, you get an 8/5 for 5 mana, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, and it's repeatable, like, you get it every turn, so.
Yep.
I don't think this card goes in any decks. I think you get this off, the 2 mana 1/3 that if you're discover a dragon if you're holding a dragon. I think that's the only way this card sees play otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't think it gets play in Constructed, but in Arena, it's really good. Even in Constructed, it's okay. You just have to build the deck around it.
Yeah.
Which it's not worth it to put in, now that I think of it, but it's a solid card, though. Standalone. Oh my gosh, what the fuck? What's with these trash cards? 5 mana for a 2/2 Skelemancer. Death Rattle if it's your opponent's turn, summon an 8/8 skeleton. Man, I don't like any of the opponent's turn crap. Especially this one. It's 5 for a 2/2.
Yeah, I mean, so the other ones that usually say, hey, if it's your opponent's turn, do something cool, they usually have a giant attack that is threatening. So it's like, this is going to punch you in the face if you don't kill it. This is just a 2/2. They can let it survive for like ever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. This card's garbage. I don't even think it's good in Arena, so don't even worry. Moving on, 5 mana, 5/4. Sunborn of Valkyr. Beautiful art. I like it. I can dig. Battlecry, give adjacent minions +2 health. So if you hit 2 minions, this is a 5 mana 5. This seems solid in Arena, I guess. It depends on what you're giving those 2 minions to, because this is poorly statted itself. But I mean, it won't see constructed play for sure. So if it sees any play, it'll be in Arena. So.
Yeah, I agree. Like in Argus's thing, Argus has horrible stats even compared to this. This is way better stats than Argus, but Taunt is way better. So.
Yeah.
5 mana for a 2/5 poisonous Venomancer. I don't think it's good. Its stats are horrible. Poisonous is okay, but yeah, I just don't think it's good, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. It kills their 5-drop, but their 5-drop probably kills this. So. I don't know. It might do stuff, but again, it won't do anything in constructed. So. Moving on, 6 mana, 5/3, disgusting. Necrotic Geist. Whenever one of your other minion dies, summon a 2/2 bull. So, if this was statted less and was more like Cultist, it'd be cool because instead of drawing cards, you just get a bunch of 2/2s. But since it's 6 mana, 5/3, I think it's way worse than Cultist.
Yep. This is trash. I wouldn't play this at all unless I had to.
I mean, if you can trade off all your 1/1s for 2/2s, that's cool. But then you just spent 6 mana on 5/3. That's dying on your opponent's turn, anyways.
Yeah. Next card, Spellweaver, 6 for a 4/4, spell damage +2. I'm gonna go ahead and say I like this. It's not as good as Evolved Cobalt, but because it costs more, obviously. Stats are higher, you can argue. But the thing on Evolved Cobalt is it costs less, so you can play more spells. So,
yeah, I mean,
that
like,
sense, this is not good.
Yeah, you don't play Cobalt for the body. You play it for the +2 spell damage and a low cost. So, this definitely doesn't see play over it. I don't think it sees play in addition to it either. So.
Yeah, I mean, Cobalt doesn't really see play in Standard because Icelands got removed. So.
Yeah, I mean, back when Icelands was a thing, the card was nuts. Icelands was nuts, and Cobalt it was an easy way to get free damage. This card I think is actually really good in Arena. 7 mana, 5/5, Battlecry, give a friendly minion +4/+4, and taunt. Yeah, I mean that's 7 mana, 9/9, and 4 of it has charge, and it can keep you alive. So I think this card's fine in Arena. I don't think it does anything constructed.
Yeah, I agree. This card's really good stats for what it is. It helps because what's the other one? It's a 6 mana, 6/6 priest card that gives 3 health. That one sees play sometimes in Arena, and this one's better than that. 1 less stat, but way better effect. So this one will definitely see play in Arena.
Yeah. For some reason, I thought the horse was a beast, which doesn't make any sense because he's dead. But if it was a beast, he'd be better because it's a free beast.
Yeah. Ooh, Happy Ghoul, 3 for a 3/3, costs 0 if your hero was healed this turn. I actually think this card's really good. You just have to be in a class. Well, you just have to have something like Lifesteal or Heal, I guess. And you have to be damaged already, which is really good. But if you compare it to something like Silverware Golem, I'm comparing to that because that could also cost 0 in a sense. This is like a free 3/3 on the board. But it sucks late game. Late game, it's trash. If you get it early and you healed yourself, this is amazing. But any other situation, it's bad.
Yeah, I mean, like, the best situation is like you're playing Zoo and you're Warlock, so you go Flame Imp, Coin, Voodoo Doctor, Happy Ghoul, Happy Ghoul.
Yeah.
But, I mean, everyone was pretty excited that this might go in Priest. All they gotta do is not hit you, and then your 2-drop is now just a vanilla 3/3 on 3, so. Yeah, it might see play, but I seriously doubt it. It is a cool card though.
Yeah, it's a great, cool effect for sure.
Yeah. Next up, 3 mana 2/5, Mind Breaker, great stats. Hero powers are disabled, which is pretty awesome. Like, if like Taunt Warrior is a big problem, this card becomes pretty sweet. Like, it's statted properly. 3 mana 2/5 is awesome, like I already said. The ability is just icing on the cake. So it's what we would call a sideboard card if you're familiar with that concept. Like, if you need it in certain matchups or in enough matchups, you play it to counter those matchups. You don't just throw it in your deck randomly.
Yeah, I really like this card. Stat-wise alone, it's really good.
Yeah, like it's cool that they printed it and that they have it available. So if it's like an emergency valve, if hero powers become too busted, like Taunt War.
And the art is unique in my opinion. This looks like more realistic than most arts.
Yeah, it's Rick. Morty.
Oh shit, it is. Wow. Okay. Next one is.
It's also every Death Knight.
No, wow.
Or Undead, I mean.
Yeah, you're right. Every death or every undead. You got me saying it. 3 for a 3/1 Shallow Gravedigger. Death Rattle. Add a Death Rattle minion to your hand. I don't like it because it has 1 health. The effect could be good, but it's random either way. So I don't think it'll see play. It's just way too weak and too random.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't even think your Death Rattle decks want it. So. Yeah, we can just move on. 4 mana 5/5, Keening Banshee. Whenever you play a card, remove the top 3 cards of your deck. So, Fel Reaver was a card, 5 mana 8/8 with the same effect. The best part about Fel Reaver was that it was an 8/8 and it was a fast clock. This, while it's not really a downside. Oh wait, no. Fel Reaver was when your opponent played a card. This is when you play a card.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I lied. Either way, I don't think this card has standard implications, but it's not bad. Like, don't look at this effect like a downside, because top of your deck's not that big of a deal, and Fel Reaver proved that 8/8 for 5 was good. The biggest difference is that Fel Reaver was an 8/8 because it's a 5/5, and that changes. 8/8's a bigger clock.
Yeah, a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this card's that good, so...
yeah.
Yeah. It has 1 extra attack as a Yeti, and it has a huge downside compared to a Yeti. I don't think it's worth it.
Yeah.
4 mana 3/3, Phantom Freebooter. Battlecry, gain stats equal to your weapons. I mean, that's pretty solid.
Importantly, it's a pirate.
Yeah. Like, throw this in Warrior or Rogue, right? And you get, at worst, 4 for a 4/4, I guess, right? And at, well, yeah. And then at best, you could even, well, at medium, rather, you get a Fiery War Axe, right? It's a pretty strong card, I think. Because you don't destroy your weapon to get its effects. You just get the effects.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it either goes in Pirate Warrior or Pirate, or in some sort of rogue build that runs the Pirate package that might put this in as well. But not much else after that. So I don't think this card's overbearing either, but it could be. So.
Yeah.
Oh, this card I'm excited for. 4 mana Serenite Chain Gang. 4 mana 2/3 taunt. Summon a copy of this minion. So it's a neutral Spirit Wolves, or whatever those are called. Yeah. That's buffed by hand buff. Like, I think this card's really good. I think this card has standard implications, and like just because hand buffs exist, this card can do stuff other than be a 4 mana 2/3/2/3.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really fun card for sure. I could even see it being played in Rogue, like just shadow stepping it.
Great. And who knows, maybe Maybe Shamans cut Spirit Wolves for this. I doubt it, but we'll see. Like, 3 mana Overload 2 is arguably... Like, it depends on your situation, whether or not a 3 mana Overload 2 or a 4 mana is better. But this is a neutral card, so it can definitely go on all the hand buffs.
Yeah. Definitely think it's good. I don't think it'll replace Spirit Wolves. I mean, are Spirit Wolves even being played right now, though?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Now that Trog is gone, you don't need the Overload or the Taunt to protect it.
Alright, so we have Ticking Abomination, 4 for a 5/6. Death Rattle, deal 5 damage to your minions. I think that's really good. Because you control a lot of this, or you can at least. And you can just trade off most of your minions, if not all, and then just have a 4 for a 5/6. And even if you don't have minions, if you have an empty board, that's just amazing. So.
Yeah. You don't just throw this onto your zoo board and go, okay, don't kill it, please.
Yeah, that'd be dumb.
So, I mean, yeah, you definitely have... All of it's in your hands. I don't think this does anything in Standard, but in Arena, I think this is a good card.
Yeah, for sure. Because the main problem was we're saying, why we're saying it probably doesn't do anything in Standard, is there isn't that many, like, vanilla beatdown decks, really. It's generally, like, you know, beat them down fast for control. This is just, like, one of those, like, play it and it has huge... It's like green in Magic, so...
Yeah, it's also, like, I would compare it to a Ventrico Mercenary. Like, it's a big body for a low mana cost with a downside. Ventrico Mercenary doesn't do anything in Standard, so why would it? So, moving on, Corpse Razor, 5 mana, 3/3. Give a friendly minion Death Rattle, summon this minion. Resummon this minion. So, another cool card that is in a neutral. Shaman isn't the only one with this resummon ability. It's not like you can put this in any deck that you want to make a combo with, but it doesn't go in anywhere else really. Like, I guess you could resummon your Tyrion or something. But yeah, for 5 mana, you better be resummoning something really good.
Yeah, I think this is pretty good. I definitely think it'll be in Arena. I could even see this in Standard, not in like a zoo deck or anything, but something with like bigger creatures. Definitely see this being played.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly what you said.
Cuckoo. 6 mana, 6/5, Bone Drake. Death Rattle, add a dragon to your hand. I mean, I actually think this is okay. It's not horrible like I originally thought. It's a dragon, so that's good. I want to say at least half of the dragons in-game are really good, because dragons are generally strong. So, you're probably going to get something at least okay. So you get a 6/5 body for 6, which isn't bad, and then you get maybe a really good dragon. So I think it's a pretty solid card.
You rip Ysera off the top.
Yeah.
Or you get Midnight Drake and you cry a little bit.
Yeah.
Or Twisted Nightmare or whatever that card is. So, and again, it adds up to the dragon count. It's more dragons for that case, so always accepting more dragons. Moving on to epics now. Drakari Enchanter, 3 mana, 1/5, decent stats. Your end of turn effects trigger twice. So you get double Ysera cards, double Death Knight cards from Lich King, double +3 attack from your Cold Scale, whatever. The card's not bad. It's definitely it's not like Bran where you can just jam it when you have a few battle cries. Like, you want a couple effects that benefit off this in order to run this card.
I think it's a fun card. I don't think it's good. It's kind of all I'll say. Don't see it being played in too many decks, but it is really fun, and decks can be made around it.
They completed the cycle, right? Like, they had Bran, which did Battle Cry. They had Umbra that did Death Rattle, and this is end of turn. So they have those doubling effects all around. And they also even have rare.
Yeah, this is a not legendary though, so that's a huge thing.
I guess Baron Rivendare over Umbra in that case. Umbra is still, you know, same kind of idea.
4 mana for a 3/3 Corpse Taker. Battlecry, gain taunt if your deck has a taunt minion. Repeat for Divine Shield, Lifesteal, and Wind Fury. I think that'd be. This is a really good card, actually. I think you could even make a deck around this, because if you even put cards with Divine Shield, Lifesteal, or Wind Fury without having this card, they're pretty solid cards, right? So you can easily make a deck that just has these effects, and it's okay. So now you're adding this card also. And if you play this card and it has all 4 of these effects, that's going to really suck for your opponent.
Yeah, I mean, Wicker Flame Burn Bristle gives you 3 of these effects.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, just adding 1 card gives you this 4 mana Taunt Divine Shield Lifesteal, which is pretty cool. Like, Wicker Flame is, you know, a 3 mana 2/2, and this would be a 4 mana 3/3 with the same effect. If you could somehow get Lifesteal or Wind Fury in your deck, then you got a Taunt Divine Shield Lifesteal Wind Fury. Like, this card is a build around me that has potential to be great 4 mana play.
So, I mean,
Alakir.
Alakir.
Alakir doesn't have Lifesteal, but you get 3 of them.
Yeah. What, is there anything Shaman has? I mean, you could add that Bloodworm. Boom. So,
yes, get the Bloodworm in.
I think mainly we're pretty much saying Paladin and Shaman are going to benefit from this card the most. It's a really good card, I think.
Yeah, I mean, like, the biggest issue with Paladin is it's a 4 mana card in Paladin, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of Paladin. I mean, you'd build around this one instead of those, though. You'd just probably build something else.
Yeah, I mean, the card's awesome. I'm glad that they added a card like this, and hopefully they kind of keep it going, but we'll see. Moving on. 4 mana 3/3 Death Axe Punisher. Battlecry, give a random lifesteal minion in your hand +2/+2. Oof.
I don't like him.
No, I mean, it's very restrictive. Even if you get it off, it's a 4 mana 5/5, and the +2/+2 doesn't have charge, quote unquote. So it is only a 3 mana 4/4, or a 4 mana 3/3. Yeah, this card doesn't do anything anywhere, I don't think.
Yeah,
I do like the art though.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
It's that one guy from level 70 Elite Tarn Shift Team.
Ooh, yeah, you're right.
I have that axe. And he's dual wielding those axes. Anyway, moving on.
4 mana Meat Wagon, 1/4. Death Rattle, summon a minion from your deck with less attack than this minion. If you build a deck, or even buff this a little bit before it dies like a Beast of Sergeant, it's going to be okay. You can definitely do combos with this that make it good, so.
Yeah, like, people have been talking about, like, Validated Doomsayer, like, without any buffs. This is just a 4 mana 1/4 that when it dies, summon a Validated Doomsayer, which becomes a 7/7.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, yeah, this card is another build around me that could be good, could be fun, but it doesn't just slot into any deck. So.
Yeah, I definitely think it's more of a fun card.
Yeah, 4 mana 1/4 is garbage, so you better do something cool.
4 mana 2/2 Rattling Rascal. First of all, I'm going to say this is probably one of my favorite arts in the entire game because he's so cute. Battlecry, summon a 5/5 skeleton. Death Rattle, summon one for your opponent. I feel like this is a really good card with that one we read earlier where you just switch, give your card an opponent, or you give your opponent one of your minions. So, I like the effect.
I mean, like, it's a 4 mana 7/7. Like, it's just got all the meat. But yeah, I mean, the card could be fun. It's a 4 mana 7/7. If you can mitigate that Death Rattle, it's great. If not, it kind of sucks. But
I mean, even then, it's not horrible because. Oh wait, no, yours. Oh no, it's Death Rattle. You don't summon it both at the same time. So I mean, even if he kills it on his turn, then he won't be able to attack with it. So either way, you're getting one attack in, unless he kills your 5/5. You know, you can just kill his 5/5 with your 5/5.
Yeah. So It's pretty cool. It's got some implications to it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Another 5 mana 5/3 Geist. I think all the Geist have been 5/3s, right? So far.
I think so. I don't remember.
Anyway, Tomb Lurker, Battlecry, add a random death rattle minion that died this game to your hand. Sure, I guess. I don't think any death rattle card or deck wants this. It's just shit stats for 5 mana 5/3 draw a card.
Yeah, the problem is the random word, in my opinion. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, at least it's something that's in game. Like, you're not just gonna get a random death rattle. It's something that you have some control over. Even still, 5 mana 5/3 is not worth playing.
I agree. 6/6/6 Furnace Fire Colossus. Battlecry, discard all weapons from your hand and gain their stats. This can be a really fun card for sure. Is it playable in Standard or Arena? If you do it right, yes, for both.
Yeah, I mean, like, I can see you running like 6 weapons or so, maybe even 8. In like a warrior, you play that one card that lets you draw 2, and then you just jam this, and you got like a god, I don't even.
Well, think of it this way: if you had 2 Lights Justice, that's it. Just 2 Lights Justice to play this. This is an insanely good card.
6 mana 8/14.
Yeah, it's really good. And you just
This
discard
card's
Lights Justice.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely gets better when you discard cards that have bigger durability than they do attack.
Yeah, if you can get this thing taunt, it's amazing. So I think this is definitely a fun card.
This is fun design, yeah, for sure. I don't know if it'll do anything, but I like.
Ooh.
Oh, a good Geist. Oh, finally. And it's not a 5/3, so a 6 mana 4/6 Skull King Geist. Battlecry, destroy all 1-cost spells in both hands and decks. So this card was printed for one reason, and that was to hose Jade Idol.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing to have as a safety valve. So this card will see play if it's needed. It won't if it's not. What's also pretty cool is that it's like our first instance of discard because it hits hands, like opponent discard anyway.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
That's a mechanic. That's a mechanic that they can like go for. Like they can print something in the future that it's like 4 mana, both players discard their 2-drops or something.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I also think it's gonna hurt priest decks. I can't think of anyone else that has really good 1-drop spells though. Maybe Rogue.
Yeah, I mean,
no,
I don't think this card hoses anybody other than Jade Idol, but I could be wrong. It's a nice card that they printed because in a control meta, Jade Idol just destroys control. So
yeah,
like destroys, like it's not even close. So this gives them some sort of.
Yeah. 6 for a 5/5. Spells cost 2 more. Nerubian Unraveler. I don't like the face. That's really fucking creepy. But 6 for a 5/5 is okay stats. Spells cost 2 more. You could really fuck over your opponent. If you play this and they don't have board, that's really good. Because, you know, normally they have to use a spell to kill it, or something with charge. But if they can't kill it with a spell, or waste their entire turn on it, you're good.
Yeah. I mean, it's not bad. I miss Lotheb, and Lotheb this is not.
Oh yeah, Lotheb was stupid though.
Yeah, this could have been a 5/5 for 5, and it might see play.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I really miss Lotheb, so I don't know. Again, if there's more spell-based combos, this might be a standard solution to them, but otherwise, I don't think it does anything.
Yeah.
So moving on to legendaries, finally, we got like 5 cards left. Awesome. So Prince Khaliseth, 2 mana 2/2. If your deck has no 2-cost cards, give all minions in your deck +1/+1. So I think of all the princes, this is one of the better ones. I mean, there's 3 princes, so, but this probably has a home in like a zoo deck with a shit ton of 1-drops, and then this is the only 2-drop, and then you go from there. The biggest issue is that it doesn't affect the board with its +1/+1, so that's a thing. But I mean, turning all your 1/3s into 1/4s, turning your blood or flame imps into 4/3s, like the +1/+1 in a zoo deck makes your 1-drops like they were 2 to 3 drops anyway.
I think this could also go in a paladin deck if you're, if you want to not run the, what is it? The one that's 2 mana, 1/1 +1 to everything in your hand. You can just Smuggler's Run instead in with this, and just build 1s and stuff because paladin has a lot of stuff that benefits 1-drops, I think. So you might be able to do something with that. I think all the princes are playable if you build a deck for them, so that's cool.
Yeah, but like this one, I think gives you a really good bonus for having no 2 cost. I think the 4 mana one doesn't. Like I don't think it's worth it to not put 4 mana cards in your deck just for it. So.
Oh yeah, this is probably the better one. 3 mana, 3/3 Prince Taldaran. Battlecry, if your deck has no 3 cost cards, transform into a 3/3 copy of a minion. I mean, late game, if you're really lucky, this could be good, I guess. But it's really situational.
Yeah, I mean, like, the fact that, you probably want to copy something that's big and has a big effect that you can't play the late game anyway, you might as well just play Faceless, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you don't really need to cripple yourself to put no 3s in your deck. I'm not gonna lie, this is a powerful effect. I think Faceless is better in every situation.
I think this is the worst Prince for sure, though.
Really? I mean, yeah, it's not very good. We'll go on to the next one. Oh, wait. We're gonna go over the last Prince before we go over our...
Okay.
So, Prince, Valinar, Battlecry, 4 mana 4/4, Battlecry, if your deck has no 4-cost cards, gain lifesteal and taunt.
That's not bad.
I guess. It's not bad. Like, those are 2 powerful abilities, neutral. It's just so boring. Like, the other ones, like, were kind of cool, affected more than itself, kinda. This one just 4 mana 4/4, lifesteal taunt.
Yeah. I mean, if you're really unlucky in Arena, though, all of these princes are good. You just accidentally not get any 2s, and then you're like, oh well, I got this.
You better hope you draw Kaliseth every game on turn 2 if you want any hope.
Yeah. Let's go to Arthas and then the Death Knight cards. Arthas is 4 for a 2/2. Death Rattle, add a random Death Knight card to your hand. I'm gonna say he's pretty good already. Because here are the Death Knight cards. We have... Go ahead, just read them all. I zoomed it in, so...
Alright. Yeah. Oh shit, hang on. There we go. 7 mana, Frostmourne, 5/3, Death Rattle, summon every minion killed by this weapon. So that's pretty cool. Get 3 things back. Army of the Dead, 6 mana, mill the top 5 cards of your deck, summon any minions removed. That's pretty cool. 5 mana Doom Pact, destroy all minions, mill yourself for each minion destroyed. Also pretty great. Like, and then, sorry, it keeps unzooming. 2 mana Death Drift, steal a minion from your opponent's deck and add it to your hand. Kinda cool. Not as good as the other ones so far. 2 mana Death Coil, 5 mana, or sorry, deal 5 damage to an enemy or restore 5 health to a friendly character. That's just straight up good. Like, that's just good removal.
It's a Mind Blast that can hit anything.
Right. 2 mana Obliterate, destroy a minion. Your hero takes damage equal to its health. Also pretty good. Like, that's just good in general. 4 mana Anti-Magic Shell, give your minions +2/+2 and can't be targeted by heroes, powers, or spells. Sorry, I forgot how to talk. I thought that was just give a minion. Give all your minions. That's pretty cool, I guess. And then Death and Decay, a one-sided Hellfire for 3 mana.
So I think I would say all of these are good, except for Death Grip is not as good. Frostmourne, I think personally it should give one more attack, just because what I said earlier, how, you know, stuff doesn't make sense. Frostmourne is like one of the strongest weapons in the game. How is it equally as strong as some other bullshit Arcanine Reaper? Yeah, and the hammer. So yeah.
The best part about Death Grip in like a control matchup is that you steal it from their deck. Like, they don't get it anymore. Even if you don't play it, they don't have it. So.
Oh shit! I didn't think of that. Yeah, So that one's good too. That one's good too. It's gonna suck against you know, all of these have their downsides except for Frostmourne. Well, Frostmourne's downside is costing 7, I guess. But my favorite one, I think, is Death Coil. That's just so good.
Yeah, either Death Coil or Death and Decay, because those are just like no stipulations. Just deal with something for a low cost, or deal with everything for a low cost.
Well, I think all of these can change the game, though, which is great.
Yeah. So, I mean, those are the ones that you can get off Arthas, who is, I think, let's just say it, he's a good boy.
Yes, you're a good boy.
He's a good boy. So, finally, we got to our last card in the reveal, and our little spoiler. The Lich King himself, 8 mana, 8/8, taunt. At the end of your turn, add a random Death Knight card, which is the ones that we went over, to your hand. So he's a big ol' Ysera.
Pretty much.
I mean, the Lich King, I think, is great. Hopefully, he's got a whole bunch of interactions with everybody. I hope his voice line is awesome. I hope his entrance is awesome. I really just want to play with the card, to be honest.
Yeah, I think the Death Knight cards are pretty fun, sounding so far, so I'm really excited to test it.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's the worst that could happen is you get Frostmourne into Frostmourne. So.
Yeah. Ideally, I do not want Frostmourne or into Frostmourne, but, you know, like, ideally you want one of the lower cost crap so you can actually play it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, but just the Lich King being a card is really exciting.
Oh, yeah. I like that the fact that this enables certain classes to actually have weapons. Like, you could get them in bullshit ways way back when, but think of, like, Jaina holding Frostmourne. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, no, I'm thoroughly excited for the Lich King. Hopefully I can crack him open. So, yeah, that's it. That's Knights of the Frozen Throne, guys.
Thank you very much for watching. This is going to be part 3. Hopefully you guys see it at a relatively good time. We need to talk to our editor about that. But yeah, this has been Shade and Qoheleth. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to IYG, and feel free to follow my stream if you want. I mean, I don't know when I'll be streaming, but yeah, cool.
Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the video and playing Knights of the Frozen Throne. That hits Thursday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 10 Pacific, so that's easier for everyone to understand.
Let's be honest, this video is probably coming out after that, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, probably, unfortunately, but yeah. Anyway, take care, guys.
Yep, see you guys. Bye.
They call themselves Imagine Your Goddess. What a bunch of a-holes.
Hooked on a feeling, I'm high on believing that you're in love with me. I'm hooked on a feeling.
Whoa, guys! Did you know that Imagine Your Goddess has its own web store? Check out all the neat merchandise, ball scrolls, playmats.
Don't forget about the acrylics and the other goodies.
Qoheleth!
Yeah, I'm here.
Get them in-store at the Stand-Up series, or check us out online at our website, shopibuyg.com. We're always adding new stuff. Imagine Your Goddess.